Okay.
Hey folks, this is Anahata Graceland here with Royal Frenchel Frenchies, and the show is Talking Dog, and Arturo Chileri, who's my right paw. And let me just give you a little quick bite of info, the personal nature of mine. I had a brain disease when I was a child, and I have some neurological differences, and I have seizures. So it's not that I'm not well prepared at times, but if you see me suddenly lose a line or two or something and ask Arturo, where was I? I'll come right back. It's no big deal. And also, I vape a medication for my brain. I used to smoke for years. I shifted my medication to vaping. It's not harmful to me or the dogs or anyone around me. So I just wanted to let you know that. Okay, well, I'm very excited about today's show because, quite frankly, I talk to people all the time who feel so badly about a dog passing and or you know wanting to take their dog to work or various different things that actually express the depth of love and connection and really the soulmate connection they have with their dogs. And it's weird because our culture has changed so much. And I'm going to go over a little bit of that evolution with you today. But the culture has changed so much that people have these depths of feelings, but are still a little shy about expressing it. It's hard to go to work after your dog passes. It's really tough because you have a relationship with them like their family today. So let's look at the evolution of dogs over time, because I think this is really, really valuable to do for you to understand you better and the connections you're having with your dogs. Because first of all, dogs have been around, my God, over 30,000 years, it appears. They were being used, for utility and you know, let me start here. They were domesticated originally around 15,000 years ago, and they were domesticated predominantly for things like hunting, protection, herding, things that were very specific tasks. They were jobs, and there wasn't a whole lot of relationship going on, though the people who work with them probably would have shared that a little bit, but that's back 15,000 years ago. In the 1800s, everything shifted. Nobility started actually breeding dogs, and they started breeding dogs for hunting. um, uh, the peasants at that time started breeding for, or didn't breed, actually they used animals and dogs for things like cart pulling and pest control, because there were rats and rodents a lot, and it was very threatening. So they had a lot of animals for that reason, dogs for that reason. Basically, the whole thing is that utility was dominating the relationship between dog and human. Okay, it was all about, what can you do for me? Do it and you'll survive. You'll get a meal today. If you don't, I might eat you. No, I mean, that actually did happen often, I'm sure. What happened is, in the 20th century, what was, dogs became companions in a different way. We started to rely on them as messengers and scouts. Um, Farm dogs became really prevalent, and family pets by post-war time had begun, and 44% of Americans actually had dogs as family. The social changes that took place were pretty dramatic over time, right? This last year, I can't tell you how many people have called me who want dogs, who are women in higher management in corporations or own their own businesses, etc. They don't want children, they want dogs. As a matter of fact, uh, you know, I'm going to look at some stats here. 60% uh, uh, of people worked by 2000 versus so we have women who are working, 60% who work by the year 2000, and in 1950 it was 34%. That's a massive difference. And so they're delaying having children and instead getting dogs. And what this does is it shifts the relationship between us and our dogs really heavily from utility to family member to friend to child to best friend and wise confidant. Okay. um it's pretty stunning, really. 38% of women between 25 and 34 want a child and prefer it I mean, excuse me, want a dog over a child. It's $300,000 to raise a child and somewhere around 20,000 for a dog in its lifetime. So there are some good economic reasons as well, but that isn't the main reason that I hear on the phone when I'm talking with people. They want someone that can travel with them. They want a well-mannered friend that can be their confidant at night and hit the boardroom in the morning. They want someone that increases morale in their businesses. A lot of our dogs end up going to businesses. I'm sure many people have that with different breeds. Maybe not all breeds are good for that, but Royal Frenchels are awesome for it. And they travel so well that a lot of people in business who have to travel, they take their dog with them. The biggest shift is that dogs are now being used as really soulful companions. You know, you think about it, you know, we have dogs that are cadaver dogs. We have seeing eye dogs. I have a seizure alert. I have two dogs for two different types of seizures I have. And, you know, you rely on them for so much. And I live with them, with mine, 24 hours a day, like you may do with yours, or you see yours perhaps less than mine. But the relationship to the dogs has changed dramatically. um, we need dogs that are small enough and agile enough where we don't have to carry them around like pocket yappers, and where we can go functionally anywhere without creating chaos, right? um 100 years ago, you know, dogs were big, rugged workers, dogs like shepherds and hounds, and, you know, all your large Great Danes. And, you know, they're such wonderful, wonderful dogs. Mastiffs. My last Mastiff I had was actually, I saved her from a place, and she had, I'll tell you that story another time. Anyway, uh, so the whole idea of having a dog has shifted so greatly. Not only are they helping us herd or get food or find people that need to be found in disasters, but they have become our closest people in life. They just happen to have four legs. Um, this has shifted a great deal, and people are knowing that it's happening personally, but the culture is picking up basically because of the economy. I mean, dog sales are up, you know. I think French bulldogs now are up 20% since 2019, and you have dog products going off the hook for travel. Like all the travel dog products are off the hook right now. And basically the culture is moving because it's a good sale for people to make money on that end of those products, right? But what has happened is that on the personal level, and on community level, people are learning how to bring this reality into their relationships, how to make it okay for them that they have this very close cohort, their dog. And I just wanted you to know that this is like really, really normal. It's healthy. It's wonderful. Dogs fill a gap for human beings, spiritually, emotionally. And they have come along over time and blended so perfectly genetically with us that it's pretty astonishing. Um, uh, we're very, very fortunate, aren't we? Every time I do this show, and I've done it 7 times now, and I'm going to be doing a lot more, um, I'm really moved. Yesterday I was actually moved to tears in the morning about it because, of course, I've been breeding dogs for over 50 years, and I live with them morning, noon, and night. I sleep with 8 dogs. Okay. I'm a single older woman, right? I'm not a cat lady, I'm a dog lady. But I'm a pretty hefty one, meaning that, I serve a lot of my local community. I love my dogs tremendously, and I love you guys who love dogs. I want your dogs to be healthy. I want them to be well, and I want you to feel good about those relationships. So today, though, I'm talking about an evolution that occurred with dogs and humans. I also really, what I was after was opening that door to set you free to acknowledge that relationship more fully. And when you do that, your dog feels it, it knows it. Let me tell you, they most certainly do. And they want to serve you. They want to behave better for you. They want to train better for you. They want what you want, a great life. So I haven't shown any dogs or anything yet. I know you come because you want to see puppies too and learn all about that. But I really wanted to share about this because today dogs are our spiritual partners. They're our very best friends. And we know that, right? But we need to be able to be proud of that in our larger communities, not be shy, not be afraid, not feel as though you're going to be accosted because you have a service dog. Listen, I'm going to do a show on human health and dogs that's going to blow you away. And you will never feel ashamed again about having a service dog, I assure you, because people that have dogs are in such a much better place health wise than those not. I mean, one of the things it does is it just boosts your immune system, it boosts your oxytocin. And so the feelings of love and less stress are significant in people that have dogs. It's really quite remarkable. And I'll be sharing those stats with you better than I shared the stats today. Sorry, I'm not used to reading. I do much better off the cuff. But I wanted to make sure I gave you some statistics that were important, and didn't really do that too well, but that's okay because you're getting my point. So this here is little Savannah. She's a Royal Frenchel. And listen, I love all dogs. This show isn't just for Royal Frenchel. Of course, I do it, and I want you to get value out of it. But I love all dogs. I just have to, in my world, have a dog that is super easy, because I need that in my world today. 3/4 of my spine is titanium. I have to have a dog that isn't heavy, that can travel without a problem, that doesn't argue or not stubborn and stuff like that. So I have Royal Frenchels, which are great for my lifestyle. Somebody who needs a herding dog or a dog that, for protection and that sort of thing, it's great to have a Doberman or a Shepherd. So I love them all for all the different reasons that they exist, right? Um, those changes started happening when people started breeding dogs to specific tasks, right? So there are dogs that actually have more smell ability, the ability to smell, the ability to see farther, to run faster. And we've sort of separated these different breeds out for different ways of life. And so my way of life is that I want to travel later. Okay, I intend to do that. And I need a dog that can pretty much carry its own weight, but I need it to be small. So my dog has to be able to jump up into the car, for instance, even though she's only 6 pounds. I have a Royal Frenchel. I have one of the super micros of Royal Frenchels. So she has to be able to jump up into the car. And I don't want to have to be lugging animals around. My mind is busy and I'm onward with things. So anyway, this is little Savannah, and she is the top end of micro in size. She's going to be the bottom end of small, and she's just a doll. You can learn more about her on our website if you want. We always bring dogs in during the show. And I want to show you a couple of other dogs I've been showing. And this is Wrigley Joe. I call her Jojo. Now, she is a tiny little gal. She is a micro to, again, small, like Miss Savannah. And she's so beautiful. Look at those eyes. Isn't she great? She's such a beauty. You know, I stay quiet for a moment after I show you their eyes because I really want to honor their spirit and you connecting. And, you know, they're not things to me. One of the big remarks I make in my kennel all the time is they are not cans of soup. You do not treat the dogs like a litter. They are individuals and they need to be respected as that. And when you do that, look how calm they are. You know, I mean, they're just calm, they're relaxed. They don't feel like they're fighting to be seen, because if they're not seen, they're always on edge and afraid. And so their anxiety level goes up, their stress level goes up, and they misbehave. They do things you don't want them to do. But if you really take a moment to look at them and get to know them, take an interest in them in sincerity, you know, it's pretty killer. It's pretty killer. So I'd like to show you today. Do we have a dog in here that you, oh, we've got Savvy. Let's put little Savvy down. I'd love to show you one of the things we do here at Rural Frenchel. As we're raising puppies, we engage them in something called love bucket training. The love bucket training has, and this is something you can do at home, which is really valuable with any breed. This is, it's part of, it's not the full love bucket training. It's part of it. And it's where we engage the mind and the individual. So the dogs have to behave and hear their name. So they're responding to their name, right? And then they have to respond well throughout it with other dogs around them. So they're not vying for control or jealousy and all of that good stuff. And that way, when our dogs leave here, they have a level, really quite a level up on most pups that people get, because of this brain engagement early and this soulful respect that we give them up front. So this is Gigi. Gigi, you can just peek down at the computer, yeah, or your camera. Thank you. We're learning how to do all this tech, folks. Bear with us, please. Okay. So Savannah, we can't see you, Gigi. It would be fun to see you. I don't know that I need to be seen. So yeah,
No,
so
it's not. It's too. There's just
too
not enough room.
too
The
small.
camera's so far back.
Okay.
It
So
won't
can you
work.
come sideways here? Let's see. Yeah, just back it up a little. You got my old chair there.
Yeah.
That's okay. You can go back farther, Turo. I've moved my chair. Okay, let's get on with the training. Yeah, that's a girl.
Lay down.
Good girl. What do you think of that?
Good girl. That's a good girl. Okay, now don't take the treat. Leave it. Leave it.
Now, Savannah is just 4 months old, and she's been in various types of interactive training for most of her life. But the point that we make with it is engagement of relationship, manners, and really letting her have a full confidence in herself around other dogs. There's actually 5 other dogs in here that are adults, and they're all free to go over there, but they know not to do that, and they're doing that of their own free will. And this is really valuable to do, and it's simple. Gigi's simply telling her what she wants, then she waits for a second, then she gives her a treat, right? Now, a lot of the times, Gigi actually doesn't give the treat, and she's teaching her right now a new movement. Yeah, that was the first of that. Now, we actually have pups that are younger than that, far younger than that, even, you know, 10 weeks old that do this, and they're just wonderful. And we'll be bringing some of those in. Listen, folks, I'm getting ready for surgery tomorrow. I'm going to have a full knee replacement while you watch her for a second. And so I won't be here tomorrow or the rest of the week, most likely. Arturo's going to take over the show, and he's going to be sharing a bunch of things with you that'll be really, really wonderful for you. Just look for the invitation. And we're going to be getting up a registration for the show too, so that we can participate. We're learning how to do all this. Forgive me, I'm not technical, and I am reaching out to people to support doing the show well. So anyway, look at little Savannah. So actually, Savannah is available. You can go to the Royal French Hill website if you want to see her. The links are below, and the links are below also for the thermos that I use. Oh my goodness. And for this little girl, you can see her. Isn't she just a beauty? That's my girl, Jojo. Yes, it is. Okay. Arturo, did you want to share something today?
Sure, I'd love to. I can't check any. Let's just get the info.
All right.
I'd love to.
So-
Hold on one second. Let's just switch this off here.
Okay, hold on one second.
Hey
There we go.
everybody. I've just been loving the presentation from Anahata about the soulful relationship with your dog, and I wanted to share a story that I was really moved by. And I mean, the truth is, we all do our work, and we believe you do your best, you go to work, and you don't all the time know the impact you're having on other people. And this was one of those experiences where I just came home and I was like, gosh, I'm so proud that we raise dogs that change people's lives, because they do. And not just our breed, but our breed has this unique quality of this soulful presence. And one of our customers is a teacher in a school, and she came to us and just was straight out like, look, I have anxiety, I suffer panic attacks.
And these are severe panic attacks that basically take her out of commission when she has them.
And so she got herself a dog and made him a service dog. And it just makes so much sense to me, because like I love community, I love people, I love connecting with people. And to me, it's one of the biggest markers of health of a human is when they have relationships, because relationships, they keep you alive, they keep you healthy, they keep you happy, they keep you accountable to your dreams and your best life. And it's like dogs are the other pack. They're the other pack friends of ours, right? Like that is their nature. So we join in that nature, and it makes so much sense that they can serve us with that soulful presence and witness, because the proof is in the pudding. And that's what I want you to know. This woman, she actually had her service dog for only 2 weeks and had 0 panic attacks. 0. I mean, she went into her
And
therapist.
she was having multiple panic attacks. It was really quite serious. And people were against her having a dog in the beginning because they thought it would be too much for her to handle and all sorts of things like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just remarkable. It really touched my heart, because her life changed dramatically so quickly and continues to change. And I think of my own, I always bring up my Whimsy, my dog. Like, I look in her eyes as much as I can. And all this attention we have on this has made me even more, because I'm running around here working, and she's like, where are you going now? Where are you going now? I'm like, okay, Whim, I got to slow down. She's a little older. Take her through, make sure there's space for the Whim, and tell her where I'm going. And it really makes me more the person I want to be, is the truth. And anyways, I wanted to share that story.
One of the things about your story that's really important for everyone is to, people buy dogs often, or in the past have focused more on looks. If you go look at a dog, you see it yanked up by the head, this sort of like, AKC version of a show dog, and nothing about personality, really nothing. It's all looks.
Mhm.
And I'll tell you, after working with people for over 50 years, 3 generations of people, both in America and abroad, because I'm the only one with the actual Royal French Hill dogs, even though other people stole my name, I decided just not to fight it, and people who were really interested would find me, right? But essentially, finding the right dog for the right circumstance in your life is really important. Otherwise, dogs get a dog they really, really like the looks of. And then what happens? The dog behaves genetically the way it's supposed to. People like huskies, for instance, and they get a dog in an apartment. And then they start working. They think they have all these ideas they're going to go here, go there with their dog, go to dog parks and all of this. What happens is after a relatively short period of time, maybe a new romance in their life happens or what have you, the dog gets left behind because it's too large, too big to go everywhere with them. And then the dog is miserable. It has all this muscle mass and joint movement that it requires to do well in life. And it's hot, it overheats easily when it doesn't, not like all the systems in your dog are programmed by their genetics. And so you really need to have a dog that matches your lifestyle and a personality of a dog that matches your lifestyle.
Absolutely.
And I help people do that all day long. I mean, I've actually told people this is not the dog for you, and because I want to make sure that that dog and human stay together till the end of that dog's life. And thankfully, those of you who've known me for a long time know I just lost my Mr. White, 16 and a half years old. And a few months ago, or actually just 2 months ago. And boy, it was tough. I was well prepared. Already had another dog here that he knew and had started that relationship so that that transition would be 60% less grieving. Um, uh, but it's really stunning. How many people get dogs, have some fantastical idea that that dog is going to be great. They're going to have a great life. And 3 months later, the dog is in the pound or given to a neighbor or a friend. And because they weren't really understanding what they wanted and how to be served. And I serve people at that level. I've helped people get other breeds before. I don't have the option for other breeds, but I mean, I'll suggest other breeds if our breed isn't the right breed. And so I just wanted you to know that. This is Whimsy, by the way, that he keeps
That's
talking
why I
about.
brought her up. I
Yeah.
wanted y'all to meet her because I refer to her all the time.
Yeah. So,
Just a love.
Gigi, you want to pick up two pups, and I just want to have you join us for a second. And this is Mr. Biggs. Okay. This is Biggs on. I'm not sure what side it'll be on you, but on me it's my left. And this is Ducky Valentine. That's a little gal, Ducky Valentine. And they're brother and sister. Ducky is a micro and Biggs is a small to regular size. So it's going to be a lot of fun to raise these guys. Anyway, I just thought you'd enjoy seeing them, and you can tuck them under your arms there and enjoy. But yeah, love your dogs, love yourselves, be proud of the relationships you hold with your dogs, because look at, you've earned it. All those who came before you helped you earn it. This right, they've given it to you by all of the various millions upon millions of interactions that have gone through every age before you. And now you get to add yours to the mix. So be kind to you, be kind to your dogs, and be kind to your community. Help it learn what an asset a dog is in the room, because they're outrageous. So let me just show you this one thing. I'm going to just tell you about, we have a 17% off right now because we started the show. I wanted to give people a gift. I mentioned it yesterday. This is the most incredible thermos. I go everywhere with it. I keep it in my car. My dogs know it. Basically, it's a thermos that has two bowls, right? So I can have everything for my water, and I can keep my dog from getting dehydrated when I'm out, and snacks. So I fill one bowl with snacks, one bowl with water, and then I myself drink. You can see the links below. I drink from it with them. And we have started a ritual, and it kind of became funny, but I welcome you to start a ritual like that. When we go in the car and I go out shopping, I always think I'm going to be less time than I actually am, right? Because I like it. Like many women, I enjoy shopping. And so I get in the car, and this is there, and they all know it. And then I go shopping and I come out, and everybody's really enjoying the thought of what comes next, because we know next it's going to be a quick sip, getting that hydration level up. And you don't want to be one who drags your dog around and not give them the hydration they need. And you need it, right? We all need more water. We have to remember that. And it's so fun to have the treats. I actually don't generally, I could use it for full meals for my dogs, but I don't. I have a tendency, because I don't go out for long, I'm not talking about a few days trip up into the woods or something. I'm talking about, out in town or to a hotel for a couple of nights or something like that. And so I bring treats in mind. They get their main meals where I'm at when we return. But the treats and things keep their blood sugar up. It's much healthier for them. Yeah. Well, listen, I don't know if we have anything else. We're right at our 12:30 hour. I send you much love. Sorry for the little bumpy start there of me learning how to share the stats and things with you. But I send you all my love, and please give your animals a big hug for me and for Arturo. And we'll see you soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Wish me well.